we're going to move on. We're going to talk about the woke mob, or it's just the Twitter mob, guys. It's just Twitter. The Twitter mob attacks Taika Waititi for years-old transphobic tweets. We have a joke here about the concept of resurfaced tweets, which is not a real thing. It means that some very, very sad, lonely person has so much time on their hands that they can literally go back through someone's Twitter timeline 5, 10, however many years and find every awful thing they've ever said. I don't know how these people, especially virtue signaling celebrities, don't just scrub. Like, they should, every few months, they should pay someone to, like, you should go through my timeline and make sure there's nothing untoward there, especially with how fast society keeps evolving as far as what's acceptable.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about Arweave, this like permaweb where like kids, like 12-year-olds are going to post something on the permaweb and it never gets scrubbed ever, and like so you're remembered forever for something you said when you were 11. Come on, guys.
So it says Taika Waititi, the director of Marvel's gayest movie ever, that was what they called it, that's not an exaggeration. They says after Disney's aka Disney's Thor Love and Thunder is facing significant controversy after a number of previous tweets the woke activists have labeled as transphobic. Again, these are just sad, lonely, intersectionally radicalized people on Twitter that use pop culture and media as a stomping ground to push their ideology because it's the easiest way to reach the largest amount of people.
Also, why is it the gayest movie? Just because like dude rocks get married?
Because that and because of what was it? Tessa Thompson's character Valkyrie is she's a king and has a queen. Basically that. So it says, no disrespect. So this is Taika Waititi's tweet, and this is from August 9th of 2022, but this isn't the one they're necessarily referring to. But he says, no disrespect to men who want to be or dress as women. I should have just said their makeup looks manly. Also, no disrespect to meth users.
This is when comedy was fearless.
Yes.
So we reported on this yesterday, I think, on IRL, and I thought he just tweeted this. So I was like, oh, I'm starting to gain some respect. I was talking about before the show. I was like, oh, this guy's like in a fearless mood. Let's take him seriously for a minute. Now I'm realizing it's from 2013.
Yeah,
what's he doing these days? Did he apologize for this?
Well, now he made he literally had an article recently where he said everyone is a little bit queer. That like basically he's under the
Robert Downey Jr. said that in Tropic Thunder too. It's funny.
well, the idea is it's that it's a spectrum, and they love to evangelize and push this because it's the Hollywood narrative right now. Just like everybody's racist, everybody's also homophobic and all this other stuff. So it says in one tweet he made fun of the idea that guys could desire to dress up as women and compete in beauty pageants in a tweet that was published on January 13th, 2013. The UK's Independent reported that Waititi used an obscure Thai word. I don't know. Does that mean we're not allowed to say it? Kathoi, which has a complex history of meaning related to transgender people, particularly women. Someone posted the screenshot, and yikes, it's worse than I thought. So they go through here. He talks about what he said, which is, my trans friends can walk in heels, but you're right. Actually, Kathui are better looking. So apparently that is very, very bad, and you shouldn't have said any of that. But the point is, his views have clearly evolved, right? By their logic, you should listen and believe. You should listen, believe, and then grow and do better, and all the other slogans that the progressive activists in Hollywood use. He's doing that. He's making movies that are representative of marginalized groups. He's every bit an ally to what they should consider an ally, but it doesn't matter when they find your resurfaced tweets. They don't care that the context has changed.
I mean, I always like struggle to believe that these people really have had like a gigantic change of heart.
I'm being very, very, very generous right now. I'm steel manning my argument on him, basically saying, like, if I'm to believe, at the very least, or at the most, he has changed his beliefs and he's a completely different person. He is loving of all groups and accepting of all groups, and he wants his movies to reflect that. Do I actually believe that that's what he believes? Maybe.
I mean, you know me, I'm tinfoil Dane, and I must doubt absolutely everything. So it's like, it has become upon him inconvenient for him to like now have these beliefs. So now he thinks that everyone's on the spectrum of queer.
So he says the resurrected remarks sparked an immediate backlash on social media from woke scolds who demanded Waititi apologize for what they considered hurtful jokes. So there was one particularly that I wanted to read. It says, if you're a fan of Taika Waititi, I'd mute his name, to be honest. This is foul, and I know it's a 9-year-old. I know it's 9 years old, and it's very unlikely he still believes that. But no one should see those things. So basically they're saying, like, even though they think he's changed and he's grown and he's not the same person, they're saying that you shouldn't even be exposed to rough bad opinions of
No, you should be exposed to it, and then you should forgive people that have had them, especially the ones that want to do good in the world.
So it says, also, everyone's saying they're not surprised. Okay, well, lots of queer fans of Taika Waititi are, because he's been such a vocal supporter of LGBTQ plus folks as of late. It's okay to be shocked if you are. It's okay to be hurt. You're not naive for not guessing this would happen. You may not be naive, but you should expect this to happen when you've turned all of these beliefs into a currency in Hollywood, meaning that you get movies made by promoting these types of things. You have to put these agendas in films just to get them produced because it's currently financially beneficial to the marketing departments to do this. So as soon as you made it a financially viable way of pursuing or showing your virtue and marketing your film, you should absolutely expect bad actors to join the fray.
Also, this psychology is not sustainable in professional fields. I think the most atrocious example is law students that have trigger warnings for like case studies. Like, imagine like something atrocious happens to you in 1,000 ways that bad things can happen, and your lawyer just like, excuse me, but this is too traumatic for me. Like, it has some certain triggers. I'm gonna have to walk out. And there goes your representative because he's like too sensitive to like actually defend you.
Or in the police department, they're like, getting shots it's too sensitive. There might have been race involved. I don't want to get involved. I got to take a time out. Can you imagine that kind of like where does this end? This stupid, like, I'm afraid to expose my mind to reality here.
Like, in the future, you're just going to have like police officers that give tickets to the whitest males. Like, it's the only thing they could like possibly comprehend.
I saw another Taika Waititi tweet here. From this article that I want to talk about, because I think that they're starting to pick things out of, I mean, not only out of context, but just they're picking at something that isn't actually maybe not there. He says, sitting near 3 sassy gay boys watching Vogue and the Madonna episode of Glee, they're actually squealing. Check, please. And this guy assumes that he doesn't want to be around gay people, I think, but what he's saying is he doesn't want to be around people that are squealing.
Yeah,
I don't blame him. Like, sometimes noise is a little much if you're out at a restaurant.
I don't know if I give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Even if like all these things are funny, it's like, chill out.
But I'm saying this is they get what they deserve, right? It's like what he said in Joker, like, you get what you effing deserve. You courted this audience. You deserve to deal with the outcome.
I guess if you're playing with identity politics, you're playing with identity politics.
Yeah, and you're not going to. You can't win, ever. You will always.
There's no winning or losing. It's just, do you want to be that? Do you want that to be your life?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, part of equality is like accepting that like sometimes you inconvenience people.
Yeah.
You know, that sometimes, you know, like, you're unpalatable for people. Like, that's equality. It's like, it's not only equality in like cupcakes and lollipops. It's like equality in like accountability.
So how does he not remember? Like, is he just that naive that he doesn't remember saying this stuff from that long ago?
I mean, maybe he thinks like he's like C-tier enough to like, no one's gonna like retroactively check my Twitter. Oh.
Well, yeah, like I do think there's people like I always talk about. I'm like, I would never want to be famous ever, because your whole life is put under an extreme microscope, right? Like, I wouldn't want to be a Taika Waititi. I wouldn't want to be a Robert Downey Jr. I wouldn't want to be any of these people that have to have every decision. Even in effect, what we're doing is kind of, thank you. In effect, what we're doing is putting their lives under the microscope for the sake of discussion. Other people do it because they want to hurt them, they want to harm them. I want to talk about it and have a discussion about this stuff. I like to laugh at it, but I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at the absurdity of the whole thing, right?
Also, should that moment come where someone would find a no-no and all the things that we've done, like, if by now you haven't realized that the only way to deal with these people is like, screw you, I'm not going to apologize. Like, literally every time you apologize to them, it's like, see, an admission of guilt.
Well, not just that. Then they say, like, well, all he did was apologize. Why didn't you give money to this charity?
Right.
Like, it's never enough.
It's never enough. So it's like, perhaps we disagree.
Yep.
And leave it at that.
I made a lot of video from 2006 to 2009, and
Thank you.
said a lot of stuff that was like, could be, people would be like, hey, that's insensitive, but I will stand by it and explain why I said it. Some of the stuff I don't agree with anymore, but I'll humiliate myself and say that and show you what was wrong and what I don't believe about what I said. Mm-hmm. But like, I didn't put it in text. That's a big part of it. I put it on video so you can hear my tone and see my eyes when I'm saying it.
Yeah.
So you can understand that, like, just typing the word gay is like, that could be construed in so many ways when you just see the word. But when you say it, or like saying the F word or saying something, you hear the tone, you understand like what it's in regards to, what you meant by it, how you were feeling when you said it. Was it said with love?
Context and nonverbals matter.
Big time, man.
Big time.
And also, like, is everything insensitive, like, not worth merit? Like, when I gotta tell you, like, when I was, like, far more overweight, like, something that helped me was getting fat shamed. It like, helped me because, like, yeah, at the moment I was like, that's rude. Like, there's people here and I feel bad. But then it was like, man, I just don't want to be the fat guy anymore.
Is that a guy thing? I don't mean that in a sexist way. I'm saying, like, I posted a meme the other day where it's like, it shows a female like comic book character and it cuts to and it shows a picture of a woman and says, oh my god, unrealistic beauty standards, and then it shows Conan the Barbarian and it cuts to the Chad looking meme and it says like, awesome, need to hit the gym and buy a sword. Like,
shame's kind of interesting because it's like muscle stress. Like if you're working out, if it's too much weight, it'll rip and tear them. Too much shame will rip and tear your soul, and then you bleed. But just the right amount, if you can handle it and you're strong enough mentally, a little bit of shame actually just rips the muscle fiber of your consciousness so that you're able to grow back stronger. And
that's what it was. It was just like a mild bit of roasting,
But like, I guess some people are so weakened mentally for whatever reason.
Because we haven't,
Adderall, God knows why.
Yeah.
Yep. They're traumatized, like so heavily traumatized by a little bit of shame. That's disturbing.
I wonder if these people believe in tough love, like, at all. Like, is that like, cis patriarchy, whatever, yada yada, like buzz term for them?
I
was born like the 79 and the 80s and 90s was big about like, I'm calling child services on your parent if they were like,
if I was
threatened
a parent,
to smack you on the butt or something.
If I was a parent now, I'd be terrified to like do like any type of punishment to a child. With the way that we've raised kids now, to be that.
Any kind of physical punishment, that's for sure. Yeah. Sit in your room. I'm turning the breaker off to the power in your room. Give me your phone.
So does this? Here's the other thing: is like I do think that we're past. Not past it. I don't think this hurts his career at all. Taika, I don't think. I think this blows over in a month.
Bro, who cares? No one cares. It's the same three people.
Yeah,
always.
Yep.
That's a big part of it. It's a vocal minority that talks about this stuff. That we're even talking about it almost is like, did we just slip on an oil slick?
Yeah, we added to it by doing.
But I agree with you. I think he's done enough good work that. He's going to be able to get away with this kind of stuff.
I'm not even a huge fan of him as like, I don't like, Jojo Rabbit was fine. I didn't like, but I tolerated Ragnarok. I have not seen Thor Love and Thunder. I like him better as an actor than I do as a director. He was great in Free Guy, but I'm defending the fact that, he clearly is, whether he means it or not, whether he's sincere or not, he's on your side now. When do we get back to the concept of forgiveness and maybe a little bit of redemption?
2023.
Yeah. Coming soon in 2023, forgiveness and redemption.
It never ends.
2027, part 2.
Perhaps, but like you'll just be forgiven for like a fraction. It's like a penance. Like they'll always find like a new no.
Just don't be on Twitter. If I was a celebrity, I just wouldn't be on Twitter.
Yeah, don't write emotions in text and put it online. Keep those for video.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.